I have to tell you that India that I came 4 years ago is not the same India as today.
What's changed, sir?
The most important, in my point of view, is that India shifted from a little bit to the west.
So, first impressions of India when you came here for the first time, what's your impression of India?
And especially Indians, by the way, which is making me a little bit nervous sometimes, underestimate the Indian products. And this is Indian, Amul, I buy the Amul. That's the way that 1.4 billion people needs to act every day.
I wanted to understand that what is the real situation? I mean, is it a political conflict? Is it a religious conflict? Is it just ego?
It's a very long conflict. Basically, is a question of a national narrative. The personal commitment that the Jewish have to each other is part of our DNA. If you will not bring them, you will not get anything. I want to make it very, very clear. You started, you killed, butchered, burned alive kids in the oven in front of their parents. And it's not only part of them, they were civilians.
You're a proud citizen of your country, which has been in so much of turmoil in terms of with your neighbors since so many years. What actually does peace mean now?
Peace in a general word is extremely important. Without the will to make a peace, you will be in a status of all the time. And nobody wants to be in a status of.
What was your first wait, this happens in India moment?
India actually decided in a principle to act as a political and economic power. And your Prime Minister bring back the honor to the language. You are not British, you are Indian. You have to speak your own language, but that's your part of your strength. You are not West and you are not East. You are Indian. Wow.
Namaste and welcome to this episode of the OddCast Show. The channel was started by my son and me to talk about stuff that's odd but relevant, and no topic is taboo. Today, we are deeply honored to have the Consul General of Israel to India, Mr. Kobbi Shoshani ji. Namaste and welcome to the show, sir. How are you doing? I want to greet you with the traditional namaste and the shalom.
Shalom and namaste.
Shalom, sir. So, sir, before you came, we got so many calls from your security team, from from your security detail that we got stressed. But now, after meeting you, just 20 minutes spending time with you, we've come to know that, you're such a fun-loving and such a lovely guy. And you're even agreeing, I'm going on record to say that, to come rappling with me. So I hope you don't go back on their word. You must come rappling.
I'm not sure that this is a compliment. I need to be tough sometimes. I try to be tough a little bit, not nice.
So first impressions of India, when you came here for the first time, what's your impression of India?
I have to tell you the truth. I came to India first time in 1992. It was a long time ago. I was a young diplomat at that time. It was right after the establishment of full diplomatic relations between our two beloved nations. It was only 1992, although we had a diplomatic relation, but not full diplomatic relations since since the 50s actually. But until 1992, we didn't have an embassy here in New Delhi. We have a consulate in Bombay. That was the name of the city at the time. And I came to here as a very young diplomat to Delhi. India was not the same India. Connaught Place, I was in Delhi, Connaught Place was not like today. Even Bombay, the airport was terrible, I have to say in a very open way. Wally Bridge was not existed, the ceiling. And Wally was a village. It was not like today, like a city of Mumbai. But I remember like today, the South Bombay. And since then, since 1992, long time ago, I fell in love with India within 2 days, especially with 3 or 4 elements. The people, the warmth connected me to my roots. The second thing is the food, by far. The food is a religion here. I know that, Indian, after 3 days, if they don't eat, they are going abroad, and after 3 days they don't eat Indian food, they become crazy. They are not controlling themselves. They need Indian food, and I can understand why. But then if food is really, really touching, and I know the problem is that, it's bring you, high in the weight, but, it's very, very fantastic food. And every day I reveal something new, even today. The third thing is the historical, which I call it cultural and historical background. The connection between your culture, the ancient culture, and today fascinates me in every angle that I met. That was in 1992. right away fell in love with you, with your country. And then I came to India several times afterwards. But I was reading about India all during this time. I was fascinated. And then when I came here in 2021, I wanted to come here. I fought to come here. I can be an ambassador in other country. I wanted to be here in Mumbai because I like India very much. Then I came to India with the knowledge, but I have to tell you that India that I came 4 years ago is not the same India as today.
What's changed, sir?
First of all, the roads. I can see in front of my balcony. I live in one of the towers in Midtown Mumbai. I see the Coastal Road. I saw the Coastal Road built up in the last 4 years. Every day it was a change. The metro, the Navi Mumbai that was, established. Even the tunnel to Pune, which I probably am not going to see it operating. It's something fantastic. The Atul Bridge, the buildings. But the most important, in my point of view, is that India shifted from a little bit to the west. It's become like New York, London, Tel Aviv, cities, big cities like that. Definitely Mumbai. Pune is also one of my favorite cities in India. I think it's the most pleasant city to live in India. In my perspective, I like it very much. But there is, Mumbai is not New York. But there is something in the city which I cannot describe it. Why? There is a magic in the city. There is a smell in the city. There is a sound in the city. There is a color in the city that give you to fall in love with the city very easily. And I have to admit, I fell in love with the city.
Are you still in love with India?
I think that it's not a secret anymore.
Okay.
Because I spoke in front of the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, my dear friend Devenderji. There is one mission that I want to achieve here in India, which I didn't achieve, is to come back to India as a diplomat in a different capacity, which means that I'm not going to be in Mumbai. In other words, I want to be back to India as a diplomat. I think that I love India. I admire India. I love every angle and aspect. Even I love your politics and everything. I know that there is good and things bad, like all over the world. Also in Israel, there is good and bad things. But the Bollywood, the culture, the young generation, the entrepreneur method of life, the seriousness. Listen, you are a superpower.
It's divinely chaotic, I think, India.
You think that it's chaotic. I think that there is an order in the chaotic way, and I like it very much. I don't like that everything is well organized and everything is on plan. I think this is something that every day when you go out to the street, you see a different angle of India.
But so, you're speaking like every other Israeli, because I've always noticed that the Israelis, they love India and the Indians love the Israelis. And from my own example, I was telling you offline when we were talking before the podcast that I had gone there to Tel Aviv to, stay there for 10 days to do a kite surfing course. And when I was walking around the town, in the evenings, the Israelis, they're so friendly, they're so welcoming. And, anytime I had a problem, it would just be solved. So my question, sir, is that why do Israelis and Indians love each other so much? What's the connect?
Okay, I wrote a book about it. Yes, exactly. The similarity between our two nations is so amazing. And I have to tell you that I was not aware, before I came to India, such scale of similarities between the two nations. First of all, I have to tell you in a very open way, we are ancient people. The roots of our nation is not from 1947 when you get your independence, or a few years before. It's not from Tilak's time, and it's even not from Mahatma Gandhi's time. It's thousands of years of people that built this ideology, DNA of the Indian people. It's a philosophy. It's medical inspiration, medical, concept, like the Ayurveda, yes. Completely different challenge of religion. That everything was built 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
The same like in the Jewish people. The Jewish people started as a slave in Egypt. more than 3,400 years ago. And he actually fled from Egypt to Israel, built the capital of the Jewish state in Jerusalem. King David was actually he was the second king, and built the second kingdom, but he was built the temple in Jerusalem and make it the capital city of Israel, ancient Israel. Then when we speak to each other not about about Instagram or about technology. We speak in a perspective of thousands of years backward, with the philosophy, with good and bad things. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like you, we had the British heritage, again, for good and bad. And we understand, we took a lot of good things from the Britishers, the legal system and everything. Of course, we adopted, developed it, and adjust it or amend it into our life. Of course, the Jewish law is also part of it as well. But the British gave a lot of from architecture to bureaucracy, and also in India. The third thing that is the society. The society is divided more or less the same. You have here more or less 80, 75 Hindus, percentage of Hindus, and the rest are Muslims and other religions, like in Israel. We have a vibrant, very good, very sophisticated young generation. We have curiosity. We consider ourselves, I'm not sure that it is right these days as well, we are a people of books. We like to read, I always said that my mother didn't allow me to watch television after 8 o'clock. She was tough. She's still alive. Even today she's tough with me. She didn't allow me. She said, that's the time for me and my daddy. You can go to your room. I lived with my brother in the same room. But I said, I don't want to sleep. I said, okay, take a book. And I took a book and I read encyclopedia. Not time in my time, no internet, nothing at all. No, only encyclopedias. That's what you have. And I remember these chapters about India.
I'm going to ask you, sir, more about the book in detail, but he's got a lot of questions before. But before that, I just want to jump in and just ask a quick one. That you mentioned that your mother is very tough. And Indian mothers, when they want to discipline their children, they beat them up with the slipper, the chappal. How do the Israeli mothers discipline their children?
I don't know what to do, but to say, but I have to tell you that it's better not to look at my mother's eyes when she's not happy. I think that she's very, very tough. I look at her eye and I said, listen, I passed the border. Even today, by the way, she looked at me in such a tough way. The Jewish mothers, and I think also the Indian mothers, they are the boss of the house.
Absolutely.
The influence of the mother of our life, like in India, and we spoke about it before, with your very, 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 very sad story, I have to say.
Yeah.
In such a way that I can understand it very well. Mothers and women, they are the boss of the house. They are giving the guidance to. We are the men. We are the last one in the family. Nobody is listening to us. By the way, also in the consulate, nobody is listening to us. But that's the reason I need to be tough, not funny in the end of the day.
Okay.
So, sir, you've clearly spent a lot of time in India in your past. What was your first wait, this happens in India moment?
Which means that I think that, without entering to politics, although I'm touching the politics this way or another, since 2014, since your current Prime Minister Modi came into power, India actually decided in a principle to act as a political and economic power. And I look at it from in the side. Your Prime Minister brought pride to the people of India. That's extremely important thing. When you give to the people that they can speak in their language. I'm coming from a state that the language was revived after 2,000 years that it was dying. Most of the Jews were spread all over the world, even into India. They speak the local languages, Marathi. In Europe, they speak, Polish or Russian or German or English in England or United States. They speak, or in Africa or in Arab states, they speak Arabic. But the language was continued to stay in the temples, in the Jewish synagogue for many, many years. But it was only a holy language. It was not a spoken language. And language is very, very important. And your prime minister bring back the honor to the language. Language is not only, you're not British, you're Indian.
Yes.
You have to speak, you speak Hindi, you speak Marathi, you speak your own language, Gujarati, you speak whatever, Canada, whatever you want to speak, it's okay. But that's your part of your strength. More than that, it's part of your connection to your roots. People without roots don't have a right to exist in the future. The second part is, of course, the idea that India, after many, many years of being not part of the two camps that happened after the Second World War, decided to do something different and defined itself, and that's your prime minister made, in a very India first, which means we are playing according to the Indian interest in a very clear voice. People, I tell you a secret that you probably don't know. But please keep it between us. You have 1.4 billion people. It's power. It's power. It's not only economical power, I speak about the numbers afterwards. It's power in the social media. It's power, in every community, in every place in the world. In my point of view, there is 1% that is a genius. 1% of the population, they are genius. 1% of the 1%, they are extremely genius. Now, take 1.4 billion people, divided 1% of 1%, and understand how many genius of the genius people have in India. This is a power. And you know what? Where you can see this power? You can see the power. You see all this, all the CFO and all the CEO and all the, even politicians all over the world, surprisingly, they are Indian.
Yes.
You are a hard worker. This is something, in my point of view, that Modi, in his concept, brought into life. The third thing, I think, and is again your prime minister as well, I think that he knows how to act in the international environment. He's well respected. He knows how to play when it needs to be tough, when it needs to be soft, when he very popular, everybody respect him. He become an international figure. And you will ask me, okay, so what? What is important? The important is eventually the brand name of India is climbing up to the sky. When I came to here in 2021, India, number 6 in the world in GDP. Today you are number 4 and heading towards the number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you think that these numbers is a secret? Everybody knows the secret, the numbers. See what's going on in India. You know what's happened to me and Israeli representative here after Chandrayaan 3? People call me from the Israeli media. I said, can you explain to me, what is it? What's going on in India?
Wow.
Even today, if something, it was a flood in the north part of India. It was everybody, today the relations is so close all over the world. If there is something happening here, automatically people read and knows about it. People understand that the power of India is not only Kolaba, the market of Kolaba, or I don't know, Pushkar and Dharamshala.
Or just the Taj Mahal.
Oh, exactly.
It's a lot more.
Much more. And it's not only yoga.
Yeah.
You have a fantastic industry here. I live in a mountain like Pune. It's not hill station. Hill station is only Indian words, I think. No, it's a hill station, yes, but I live in not far away from Jerusalem, around 700 meters, more or less like Pune. Pune is 650, more or less. The water that I drink come from the desalination water, come up with the pipes, which is made here in Pune, Kirloskar, that you probably understand. Everybody knows the company.
Yep.
The machinery, the quality. Now, people consider, and especially Indians, by the way, which is making me a little bit nervous sometimes, underestimate the Indian products. I mean the contrary. I go to the supermarket and say, this cheese is Swiss or French or, I don't know, Italian cheese, and this is Indian, Amul. I buy the Amul. Why? That's part of my Israeli attitude. The Israeli product is much better than the other products, in my point of view. The Indian product, it's fresh, it's more fresh. I give a support to the. That's the way that 1.4 billion people needs to act every day. If they have to choose between cheese from other countries, European countries, or Indian cheese, give the support. You know why? Maybe the quality is not the same. Maybe you're right. But if you buy for them, the quality will jump up and up and up. And that's part of the most important thing. Try to. I mean, we don't produce everything. Also in Israel, you don't produce everything. You have to buy something, and it's part of the deals with the economy. You need to buy. See what fantastic industry of cotton do you have that started a long time ago. See what pharmaceutical you have. I think that the antibiotica in Israel, the origin of the antibiotica is from India.
Yep.
We eat basmati rice in Israel. By the way, it's considered very expensive rice in Israel. It's more expensive than we have a Parsi rice. We have, not from Iran, but Parsi, but it's much more healthier.
Right.
Build your mark name as quality, and that's more important. I think that's exactly what he did. And the third thing that what's happened in India wants to be better. This is what they don't want to be, and this is something that I saw in my 4 years here in Mumbai. The Indian people think and believe that they deserve more. I found it fascinating. When you want more, it's not only inspiration. If I get a service, I want better service. You know what it's going to be? The service provider needs to fight to give you better service.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. It's really amazing. And that's what I see. Not everything is perfect. You always think that you have to see the roads of Manhattan in Mumbai or in Pune. It won't happen. Not today, and not tomorrow, and not in 5 years. But see what's happening in Thailand, even in Japan or in China. It takes time. You will reach there. But it won't change your life. The roads. The roads is very important. The pavement, it's okay. That's part of the beauty. That's part of the beauty. If you ask me where is better to live, and I stand and I say it all the time, and I can verify what I say. Where is better to live? In Europe, United States, or in India? I think India is going to be one of the best places to live, not in 20 years or 25 years. In 5 or 10 years, I think that even today, it's a very good place to live. When you need the MRI because you have some knee problem, or and of course, you need money for that, if you have money.
Yeah.
2-3 days you will get. In the West, how long you have to wait for an MRI?
Months.
Months. Also in Israel, it's not easy. In India, you will get it. If you need a service at home, physiotherapy, they will come to your home. My mother suffers from text, I will come in 2 weeks, but I have pain now. No, that's the way. Don't try to adopt every Western. You know what? I tell you something which probably I hope that I will not make the mistake when I'm saying that. You're not West and you're not East. You're Indian.
Wow.
You're Indian. And I think it's fascinating. Don't try to be European. Even in Israel, some people say, we half European. No, you're not European. You're different. You're different in your religion, in your belief, in your attitude, everything. You're not European. You want to be European, but you're not. When you put a tie and be yourself. By the way, you see this narrow jacket or Modi jacket, whatever you call it. It's startup, I have to tell you. Fantastic for Israel. It's not, the weather is very hot, humid. You go from air condition outside. We didn't think about it. We both have, how you call it, narrow jacket. It's also a political definition, I understand. How to call it. I call it Modi jacket, narrow jacket, whatever it is. But it's very nice and it's very good. Don't try to be something that you're not.
Mm.
And this is what your current government or the India shifted in the last years. We look to the West, but connected to the roots.
Mm.
When you are in this balance of power, and it's a balance, I mean, sometimes there is a contradiction between the tradition and, it sounds to you, when you find the balance between the two forces, then you are in a, I don't want to say nirvana, but you are balanced.
Mm.
You are okay. You can continue to choose which direction to go because you are standing in the middle.
Mm.
And the optimum level is extremely important. And I think that right now you're on the way very close to the optimum level.
Mm.
You have a lot of advantages here in India.
Right. Speaking of the such a close interconnectedness between India and Israel, like you said that you're basically an Indian at this point, along with being an Israeli. We have seen so many photos of PM Modi ji and PM Netanyahu ji, but most of us don't even know the story, especially my generation. How close really is the rapport between the two respective leaders even today?
Definitely, I think that you mentioned before that there is a lot of love towards you. Feel it, if you said that you are Indian in Israel, people, some of them will give you a hug. I have to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a love towards Indian people, First of all, because most of the people in Israel, after they finished the army, like my daughters, they came, also my son as well, they came 4 times to India just to be in Dharamshala, in Pushkar, in Leh Ladakh, in Goa. They crazy about it. Now, when they came back to Israel, the memories, the taste, the food, the colors, they become a good ambassador of India in
Yeah.
Israel. Now, they spread it. Right now there is a trend of taking your parents along with them to India. I
Mm.
mean, which is a little bit weird, I have to say, because my daughter will not never take me along with her because she wants to be the young generation. Although I'm a young generation, but anyway, she doesn't think so. But anyway, it's very, very weird to go to the big, we call it the big holiday after the army. We go all to South America or to the East,
Mm.
normally to India. I was in Leh Ladakh almost 2 years ago, and I was surprised. I heard more Hebrew than
Then
Hindi.
Hindi or Indian, yeah.
Yes, everything was, even the menu was in Hebrew. The people in the road, all of them, they were Israelis. Listen, you have to be worried, all the Israelis going to be here. No, but it's only Leh Ladakh in Dharamshala and Pushkar. This is the most favorite Israeli places that we like very much. And I have to tell you, I can understand why. I can understand why. There is something in the atmosphere that you, as an Indian, will not see ever. We
Mm.
can see it.
But so I wanted to understand, what does a consul general exactly do? Like, do you all facilitate trade also? Do you facilitate business between the two countries? Is that also part of your your directive?
It's a good question. We spoke about it in the lunch that we had with the MCCIA, the Maratha Chamber of Commerce before. What do you do? I mean, if the Minister of Foreign Affairs will call me and say, Kobbi, what do you do?
Mm.
What I have to answer to him? Although I assume that he knows. First of all, Consul General is dealing with all aspects of life in the bilateral relations, from politics to economy, tourism, definitely culture, people to people. Then we are dealing, social media, by the way, become extremely important part of the diplomacy, the new diplomacy. You have to know everybody.
Mm.
You have to understand. It's a big challenge. Eventually, in the end of the day, you ask me what I do. I try to make you, not you personally, but you as a nation, close to Israel. Yeah, why? Because I think that the relations between our two nations is important for both of us.
And for the world, sir.
I agree with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. But so I wanted to understand that there is a conflict going on in your area where you come from Israel, which is Gaza. And I wanted to understand that what is the real situation? I mean, is it a political conflict? Is it a religious conflict? Is it just ego? What is the root of the whole problem here, and how is it going to get solved?
You ask five questions in one sentence. I'll try to understand in 7 ways.
Okay.
It's a very long conflict. Basically, is a question of a national narrative. As I mentioned before, King David and King Solomon built Jerusalem as the capital of the Jewish state more than almost 4,000 years ago. Our roots, our prayers, our belief is always was towards Jerusalem. Doesn't matter if it was 2,000 years ago. The Jews of India that lived normally in Konkan, in Maharashtra's area, but also in Kerala as well. Some of them, Parsi community were here in Pune as well, and also in Mumbai. The synagogues were towards Jerusalem. 2,000 years. They had the same holidays. They have the same prayers without internet, without a mail, without in the same calendar. I don't think it's less than amazing. 2,000 years.
It's brilliant.
Very much. And then we came back to Israel. And that's part of the Zionism. Now, it was not Palestine Day. No, it was not something like Palestine before. But it was some tribes, or it was partially belongs to Jordan. And it was a partition plan that split the country after a very bitter fight against British, like in India, into 2 states, Arab state and Jewish state. And since then, it was the beginning of a national narrative. I'm Zionist. I'm a proud Zionist. My father, he was a very right-wing Zionist. My mother, she was a left-wing Zionist. And for them, the most important thing was the state of Israel. What is good for the state of Israel? Doesn't matter if you are right or left. I think it's fantastic in my book. And then the first one is a national issue. The second thing is religion, which I have to tell you that Hamas, when he started his jihad in October 7th, almost 2 years ago, it was built or based on religious purposes. Jihad is a war against the non-Muslims. For them, it's part of their religion. Then this is the second part. The third, which nobody will speak of, it's a jealousy. And I tell you why.
Jealousy.
And I tell you why. Israel today, the GDP per person is almost $60,000 US.
Wow.
Almost.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Even the economy during 2 years war, believe me, it was not easy time for us. The economy growth was 1.4% in a time of war. Normally it's 5, 6, 7%. We are talking about 10 million people that live here in Israel. Now, of course, in India, the GDP in general is much higher. But if you divide it in 1.4 billion
per capita
people,
is much lower.
Yes, but it comes with a very big challenges. The cost of living in Israel is extremely high.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can see the system in Israel. You see how we fought against, COVID at that time. How is the medical services with us? How is the construction, electricity? Very well organized. We are not Europe, but in my point of view, we are much better than Europe. Because we love to be in Israel. We are happy. We love to be in Israel. I'm going back to Israel with a big love. Why? Because my roots is there. My food is there. My relative, my language, my culture. That's my character. People are happy to be in Israel. Then when they see, and you can take a car, it's not like in India. I take a tag in 10 minutes from my home, I'm going to be in the Palestinian Authority. 10 minutes by car, not so far. Right away, you understand you are in a different country. sometimes 20, sometimes 30 years backward. They're jealous. So what's going on? We want, it belongs to, what's it belong to you? We built a country which, I mean, Israeli, I'm very proud of that, but you can see and you've been to Israel.
Yes.
Fantastic coastline.
Absolutely.
People, restaurants are full. People like to enjoy life. People, there is, of course, bad and things like in India. And then I think that the third thing is the jealousy. That's my belief. I tell you, you don't have to accept it. But the fourth thing, I think that there is pressure from outside countries, especially like Iran and other countries, that use the Palestinian people and warm them up all the time to escalate the relations with Israel. And we were naive, I have to tell you, in a very open way. We thought in a very naive way. Naivety, by the way, is not a character belongs to Indian people. It belongs to many people around the world, including Israel. That if we will give them money, we give them a work in Israel, they will be happy, go back to Gaza, and we'll be happy, and it will be quiet. We want to live happily. We want to go to a restaurant, We made a mistake. When it comes a combination of religion, jealousy, fueling outside resources of fueling the hatred, a lot of lies, fake news, believe me, when sometimes I read the news, I say, listen, we spoke about it a few days ago. I see, sometimes the fake news against India in the international media. And I ask, what is the source of these lies? I know what's going on in it. Why to lie? They fueled the journalists, fueled by countries that don't like you. Don't be naive. People give money to the university sometimes to journalists to write bad things about India and about Israel. Of course, it's very easy. If today I need to go to United Nations and to vote about partition plan, I assume that I will not get if I'm back to 1948 in today, I assume that we will not have a country because there is automatic majority against the state of Israel. Most of the country, because they are Muslim country, small country, a lot of they have the vote. Micronesia, by the way, is a friend of Israel. But what is the smallest country in the world? The United States or India is the same vote, one vote.
It's one vote per country.
Yes.
That's it, yeah.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about the General Assembly, not the security. Then I think that it's quite challenging. Where India came into power, listen, your power, when I said power, the secret, if you remember the secret, 1.4 billion people is power. It's a power. You know how to deal with social media. You are spread. I need sometimes your help. I need sometimes people from India, and they help me sometimes, to say, just for a second, there is another voice. Don't get the sponsored or hatred messages. Tell the truth. If we made a mistake, we will be the first one to admit. Don't lie. Don't spread lies, And today it's very easy to spread lies, and I assume that you will believe. Today with the AI, you can make me Shah Rukh Khan. I'm not Shah Rukh Khan. I'm Kobbi Shoshani. You cannot make it. But in the AI, you can do whatever you want for me.
Right.
It's very, very challenging.
But sir, how do you see this playing out? Do you think that this is going to resolve, this conflict is going to resolve, or this is just going to go on forever and ever?
First of all, the answer is definitely it's going to be an end game for that. Definitely, I think my assumption is it's going to be close early than expected in two very basic conditions. The hostages needs to come back. We have to understand what is hostages for us. The personal commitment that the Jewish have to each other is part of our DNA. If you will not bring them, you will not get anything. Believe me. And you have to understand how it's important for us. You kidnapped our people, you rape, you murder, you butcher, you burn alive people. You cut intimate parts of women in front of their sometimes wife or mothers. This is unacceptable. And they pay for that. Then the first thing, bring them back. The second thing, we will not tolerate any military power in the hand of Hamas in Gaza. Period. We will not tolerate another circle of violence. And people tell me, you punish them so much, leave them alone. We want to prevent the next war. We want to prevent the next circle of violence. They want to live peacefully without a military capability. Why? Because we have enough for them. That's it. Very clear. I'm not trying to make it nice. I don't want to. Listen, they started the war. It was not a war. Well, say, okay, bombs coming up. That was not a bomb. That was a massacre. In a country like Israel, when we're talking about October 7th, the meaning is that in every household, every house in Israel, someone that or injured, or kidnapped, or killed. That's the meaning of 10 million people. You know them personally. It's not, I know them because you know them. You have to understand. You started the war. Now, war, in order to prevent the next war, you have to bring back your weapons. Why? If you want to live, good. If not, continue. It's going to be finished. One of the best and most successful war that Israel had, long one, ever. I tell you why. See what's happened with this October 7th. They started the war, and the reaction is all over the Middle East. See what's happened to Hezbollah. Disappeared almost. See what's happened in Iran. See what's happened in Yemen. See what's happened in Syria in 24 hours. That's because of this idiot that started the war that is right now with the 72 virgin making fun. Okay. You started the war, you will pay the price for it. The price is you will not have any military capability. That's a principle. I don't try to hide, try to make it nice. No, I want to make it very, very clear. You started the war, you killed, butchered, burned alive kids in the oven in front of their parents. And it's not only Hamas. Part of them, there were civilians. They passed the border, which is sometimes few kilometers, and do the same thing. Listen, I spoke about our history before. They touched our historical nerves. If you know the history of the Jewish people, what's happened in Europe, there is no forgive for that.
So the next question is regarding my generation. My generation has sort of misunderstood or probably hasn't understood at all this entire conflict. What would you like to tell them regarding navigating this entire agenda?
It's a very good question. Your generation, which for good and bad, and I think that I know your generation, I understand better and better what is your opinion. You don't like long stories. You like very short.
Yeah.
If it's a one line, is the best.
Right.
And I tell you something. Read who wrote the article. Try to read beneath the lines and ask yourself, what is the interest? If you ask these three questions, then you will understand that your knowledge or your perspective about what you read, what you see in the photos, going to change completely. It's very complicated. Once someone told me, in order to the most complicated or comprehensive solution has to be very simple, which is very fascinating, very, very nice to speak about. It's not easy to understand what is the conflict. It's very difficult. It's even more complicated than to understand Hinduism. It's very complicated. I tell you the truth.
Yes.
Go with your heart, not with what you see in AI photos or fake news. Ask the question yourself, not me. Don't give. Of course, I can give you an answer.
Yes.
But I don't want to give you the answer. I want you to ask yourself the question. Listen, who is this guy? What is his interest? Where he brought his money from? Who is the owner of this newspaper? After you wrote this one line that I don't know, they blame Israel, India, whatever it is. Ask the question. If you will ask real question, I don't want to give you the right answer. You have to find out the right by yourself. If eventually, after all this, you think that we are the bad guys in the neighborhood, it's okay with me. At least you will ask in an open heart these questions.
Okay. There is a small rapid fire question round that we have. Just before we get into that, I just have one question regarding Gen Zs, that is my generation in Israel. How do they handle so much of all this action in front of them? Are they sort of desensitized? Are they more aware? What's it like?
It's an excellent question, I have to tell you. We were very, very worried when the war started how the Gen Z is going to act. Listen, they are people of the Instagram. They like the good. They took all the time photos of food. Yes, that's what's happening in India is happening in Israel. Believe me, the same thing. The same. They dress the same. They make the photo the same. The same thing. We were worried. It was a big surprise. Listen, this young generation, they are much, much, much better than us. Brave, smart, intelligent, with spirit. I was, not only me, everybody were amazed about what's going on. But I have to tell you that, I tell you from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, this is my office, yeah? There is a young generation and old generation. I'm not talking about only social media, and things like that. The young generation, sometimes at 4 o'clock, they say, listen, I finished to work, I have a family, I'm going home. And people, the old generation, they will say, well, what are you going? We've just started the war, we need to work, And people, it's make them nervous,
Yeah.
And I say, listen, stop. Maybe we are wrong. Maybe the young generation, they're right. You don't have sometimes to work hard in order to give the result.
You don't have to work for long hours.
Long hours. Sometimes you have to work 5 hours and you can ask the staff there. I said, I don't care if you're coming later. At least you do the work. But you have to do the work. I don't care. Afterwards, what you're going to gain about salary and everything, hours and everything, that's the system. If you ask me, I think it's a mistake. See what's happened after COVID. The COVID was dramatic influence about your generation.
Yeah.
You are alone.
Yes.
You forbid. That's the bad thing, The importance of India is that you live in the communities. Community become people don't look for money. They look for love and community. To be with someone like him that they can speak to them. They need a society. They need friends. The second thing, what's happened is that even in the Minister of Foreign Affairs surprisingly accepted to work 4 days a week. The fifth day is from home.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. In my point of view, it's unbelievable. But if you will not do so, the young generation will not come to you because they said, listen, in the other job, they give me 4 days. You don't want. I want to be with the family. I want to go to the beach. I want to wake up at 9 o'clock and not stuck in the traffic. You think that only there is traffic only in India? Also in Israel, all over the world. Sometimes from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, most of the minister staff lives out of Jerusalem. And even in Jerusalem, takes 1 hour enough to reach to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because of the traffic, not because of the distance. So why have to spend my time, parking, fuel for working? I can do everything by home. That was a big change.
Right.
But you are surprising, I have to say. Can I add one more thing about your generation?
Yes, please.
I'm a great believer and I really appreciate the young generation of India. I meet them everywhere and you can ask every event that I made at home, doesn't matter if it's diplomatic event, I bring at least 3-4 young generation that they will see what is international life. And if there is an open session at home, I give them one decision, to ask one question. And they are coming prepared and ask the right question, very well prepared, one of the representative of the young generation. You are excellent. Continue to work. And of course, it's bringing a lot of challenges to the parents and everything. It's big. It's a big challenge. Yes, you're asking questions, sometimes out question. But I'm not sure. We live in a place in my age that everything was. If you started the work, you're going to end with the work, and let's go home.
Yes.
Your generation, I'm not sure that it's going. You change it. I see my kids. They're changing every few years. They're changing place of work.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what's going to be with AI. Profession is going to be changed.
Right.
What you're going to do in the year of 40, I don't know.
It's anybody's guess. No, I mean nobody can predict what they're gonna do.
Very interesting. A little bit worried, I have to say, as well. And the people who cannot think about the old generation in India is less important because the people in India, they have support from the young generation because you live together. Most of the countries in the world, they don't think about the old generation that needs to make application in the internet. Ask my mother to make application in the internet and in the bank. She cannot do it. If I will not do it, she will not do it. She cannot do it. She don't know how to use the internet. She's 92 years old. She is not. She wasn't born in a time that they didn't know the word computer. It's a big challenge for them. The young generation, the future is, in one word, uncertainty. But you're smart. You will manage.
For sure. I think that's very accurate.
Or to live on the pension of your parents.
That's not happening with him. There's definitely he has to own his own money.
You know, my daughter came to call me especially the daughters. Yeah, I said, "Daddy, I love you so much." I said, "How much do you want?" I said, 200 shekels. Okay, that's okay. Okay, give me. Okay, then let's shorten the conversation. She's smart, you know. But I'm joking. I think I love them very much, and I think that they are, when they look at me in my face and my eyes, they see the beauty of the credit card of my eyes in a very, very nice way.
It's so funny.
Golden eyes. You know, but I'm okay with it. I'm very happy with it. I will do everything for them. I will do everything. Family values is the most important thing in the Jewish tradition, and I think also in India.
Yeah, really. You know, so we had a spiritual guru on our show, and we had a foreigner, a German actress, Suzanne, on the show, and we asked her, so, you know, we asked her what is the best thing that India has given to the world. And she said, besides the family system, which you just mentioned, it's Indian Jugaad, the ability to do anything, anytime, you know, just make the most of whatever you have and just move ahead. So, you know, I can resonate with what you're saying. The family system is so important, and it's very similar between Israel and India.
Suzanne is a very close friend.
Yeah.
By the way, she played in, I don't know if you know, accidental Prime Minister.
Yes, Sonia Gandhi. She played Sonia Gandhi.
Yeah. And Anupam Kher was Manmohan Singh.
Yes.
One fascinating. She's a very dear friend, a very close friend of mine, and I like her very much. Yeah.
Right. Great.
She's very nice.
So I just have one last question before we move into the rapid fire. That you've been in a country, you're a proud citizen of your country, which has been in so much of turmoil in terms of conflicts with your neighbors since so many years. What actually does peace mean now? Does it exist? Do you see it happening? What does peace mean to you now?
Peace in a general word is extremely important. Without the will to make a peace, you will be in a status of war all the time. And nobody wants to be in a status of war. State of war. But the word is a little bit complicated, I have to say. You have to, you know, in our prayers, I'm completely secular, but in our prayers, the word peace, shalom. Shalom is also peace and also hello in Hebrew. It's the same thing. Appear all the time. If you will not define yourself that that's part of your goal, you will become a bad person. That's the Jewish philosophy. Having said that, I have to say that the word peace should not come along with naivety.
That's very important.
And because eventually, naivety, and we saw it in the history, nothing to do with Israel. We can see what's happened in the Second World War, in the First World War, in the history of the world, the naivety brought more war than peace.
That's true.
In order to bring peace to the Middle East, you have to be firm. You have to show strength. You have to show technology and growth. But you have to be moral as well. If you have this combination of all these elements, peace will come. Then I'm optimistic. I'm not naive. I'm very, very optimistic.
Wonderful. So we're just quickly going to ask you some questions. So these are a rapid fire thing. You just try and answer in one word if you can. And I'm just going to start it out. What do you like better, hummus or chole bhature?
I'm Israeli. I have to tell you frankly, hummus is my love.
Okay. Fair enough.
What is one Bollywood film that you secretly enjoyed?
Secretly, I love many films. Two States, I think
Two
the film
States.
was one of the best film. But because my good friend Raju Irani, Three Idiots is a very good film. I saw Zara Zameen Par.
Sitare Zameen Pe.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
It was extraordinary about the autism and everything. I like it very much. I think he's a very talented guy. I like very much in the Indian films, and I know that it's called with Shah Rukh Khan. It's called that is coming from United States.
Swadesh.
Swadesh.
Swadesh. That's a very
Swadesh
nice
was
movie.
very good.
Very good movie. Yeah.
Definitely historical films. I like very much Vidya Balan. She's a fantastic actress, I have to say. And one of the films that I like very much, which is very complicated, is called Teen. I don't know if you saw the film with Amitabh Bachchan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice film.
Very thrilling. Very
Yes.
filled with crime, and he's become the detective literally in
Exactly.
that film. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. But I didn't understand because he's moving back and forth in the future and current. Then it's very complicated to understand it the first time. Then I saw it 3 times. This is my secret.
Yeah, you have
Probably
to pay
it's because
attention.
of my intelligence. I couldn't understand it the first time.
So one Indian word that you've nailed the pronunciation of, that now you can pronounce it perfectly.
Zyadna chutney, no. Tola tikka, no zyada chutney.
Okay, perfect.
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 What do you think is more intense, Israeli traffic or Indian bureaucracy?
I have to tell you frankly, I'm driving along with the police. It's much easier for me to drive here in Mumbai, but I think both of them challenging.
Okay. What's the busiest WhatsApp group on your phone?
Wow.
Is it the family group or is it
family?
Everyone asking for your credit card details?
No, they're asking. They don't ask. Transfer, please, the money. They're not polite anymore. The young generation that we spoke about.
What's the most misunderstood Israeli value?
That we have a mercy. It's part of the Jewish tradition. I think that sometimes when you make a mistake, we take it very hard. We don't want to show it sometimes because in the Middle East you have to show strength, as I said before. But I think that if we made a mistake, and by mistake someone is damaged by our incident, we took it very hard. Very hard. And this is part of the Jewish mentality, I think. All the time to blame yourself, which is sometimes not good. I have to say all the time, why you have to do it? Why? And it's also happened between friends. If I say something not nice to my friend and he was insulted, I take it hard with me more than he took it hard. It's part of the. This is something that people think because that we are tough. They are very. I mean, we're very direct. They don't understand that we have a little bit of. We call it, beating ourselves in such a way, sometimes in an extraordinary way, which is not so good all the time.
Right.
So one thing that you wish that people would just stop asking diplomats all the time. Something that you're just fed up of being asked.
What is your telephone number?
I just asked you that, sir, before the podcast.
Yeah, no. People come to me. I know you. People come to me. I don't know. They say, "Can you give me your telephone number?" I say, "What do you want from me for my telephone number?" Well, I don't know what is your name.
Masala chai or black coffee?
By far, black coffee. Sorry to say, I know that it's not politically correct. I have to say, of course, matcha. No, but I don't like tea in general.
Okay.
If I drink a tea, I drink white tea from Kerala.
Okay.
You know what is white tea?
I think I've heard of it, but I've not had it yet.
Most of the Indians don't know. Listen, I bought boxes of white tea from Kerala.
Yeah.
I think it's the best tea. That's the only tea that I drink. I don't like the black coffee, English breakfast, whatever. I don't like tea so much. Normally in Israel, what we do, if it's a tea, we took mint leaves, put it in a glass of hot water and drink it as it is. That's very good for your veins. That's very popular. But the black coffee, I cannot go to sleep without black coffee. I cannot go to sleep. I will not sleep. I need black coffee into my veins in order to go to sleep and during the day, by far.
Okay.
Right. Fair enough. So if not diplomacy, then what alternate career would you have picked?
I surprise you. I wanted to be a farmer.
Really?
I like the smell of the ground. I like eventually, in the end of the day, you make food for the people.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw in your life the method or the way that the cucumber or tomato came out from the ground. In my point of view, the smell of the, especially you mentioned you were near Netanya in Poleg.
Yeah, Netanya.
Few kilometers from Netanya, there is a very good ground for agriculture.
Mm.
When the rain comes in the morning time, the dew or whatever it's a rain, you can feel the smell of the ground. It's like a drugs. I stay there, and sometimes near to and I miss it so much. I wanted to be a farmer. In Israel, to be a farmer is a proud. It's not when you work for. By the way, it's also good money as well. But money is not important for me. What is important for me is to make something out of the ground. That's if I would. I know that is a strange answer, but if you ask me really, I want to be astronomist. I like astronomy very much.
Lovely.
Last question of the rapid fire round. What is one Indian festival you wish existed in Israel?
Definitely, no. I will say I will say the Holi, but Holi we have something like more or less like Holi.
Mm.
I think Holi by far is the best Indian holiday. That's what you mean, yeah. And also other holidays. I know there is a connection because we are living in a lunar calendar, like in India.
Yes.
Most of the Israeli holiday they are connected to the lunar calendar, not
Right.
to the
Not to the solar.
not
No.
the solar one. As a holiday, I think Holi is my love. But there is one. I don't know how to pronounce it in Hindi. It's going to be very, very soon. The people stand above each other.
Oh, the Dahi Handi.
Dahi Handi.
Dahi Handi. Oh, that's beautiful. Mm.
Amazing. I think one of my best tweet ever in India was in this holiday. I took a photo in Shivaji Park with the people, and behind them was a building under construction, new building, tall building. And I asked in my tweet, which building going to stay more? Without giving everybody. And the people understand the hint. I think that, that philosophically, the building that the people build every year, going to stay for thousands of years.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's fascinating in my point of view.
Yeah, really. But sir, it's been a pleasure. Honestly, before I met you, I didn't know much about you except what Google told me. But after meeting you, I find you to be such a fun-loving and jovial person. And I'm actually sad, that, you're leaving India.
I'm sad as well.
And I really, really hope that you come back in any capacity that you would wish. And I hope that, you make India your second home. And I hope that you come rappelling with us. And my last question is that would you rather go on a rappel with us or do a podcast with us?
Now, I made already the podcast. Now it's very easy to answer. Yeah.
So rappel. Great.
I'm looking forward to do so.
Great.
If you don't mind.
Of course, I would
to
love
know
to have you.
You touch my heart, with your story as well in the car.
Thank you so much.
I have to say that I came here happy, enter, become sad, and now I'm smiling again, which is also part of my character. That
and part of life.
The mood between modes, and all the best to you. Love to India. Love to people of India, the culture of India, food of India. I'm going to miss you very much.
We love you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And anything in Hindi that you would like to say as a bye or something to Indians, to India?
I can only say in Marathi or in Canada or in Gujarati, but not in Hindi. No.
Okay.
I tell you, it's a very difficult language. I don't want to pronounce it in a way. Normally, I speak something in Hindi, but it's written to me, and I make it as part of the fun. But it's I have to say, it's very complicated, very complicated for me.
All right.
And I found that it's not genuine to speak in a language that you really don't understand. I don't think it's a genuine in my point of view. Genuine is very important and crucial in social media in my point of view.
Great. But sir, thank you. Namaste and shalom for being on our show. It has been a pleasure and an honor for us. Thank you so much. And if you guys like this podcast and like our content, please like, share, subscribe, and hype our videos. Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. Thank you.